Alright, as a recap, the first video I showed you how to fold these papers. Okay, you're going to have two of them. I showed you guys how to fold both of those. For the second video, I showed you how to make each of these layers so that you'll be ready to do the last step, which is what I'm going to show you now. So now we are going to glue these layers onto our little accordion style papers. So I'm going to start with my bottom layer. Okay, so I'm going to take the bottom layer out. Okay. And I'm going to glue it on one side and then glue it onto the other. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to apply my glue to this bottom layer, and then I'm going to kind of line that up, press it down. Okay, so then I'm going to take the one on the other side, same idea. I'll put glue here, okay, and then I will press this onto it once I line it up. Make sure it's lined up correctly. Okay, so that is my first layer. Okay, well, last layer technically. And make sure that this still folds the way it needs to fold on both sides. Okay, so my next layer that I'm going to, since I've got, let's see, that's the bottom layer, and then I still have 4 more layers. So if you look at this, you would skip a layer and then you'd glue the next layer onto here, skip a layer here, skip a layer here. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more layers. We're only doing 4 more. So I'm actually going to skip this one that's close to the bottom. I'm going to skip this one and go on to this one. Okay, so that means you're skipping 1, 2, 3. You're going to put it on the 4th. So you're going to skip 3 little sections, and then you're going to put your next layer on this one here. And that's just to give us more depth before we hit that bottom. Okay, and because I didn't want us to have to do, I told you guys only to do 5 and not 6. 6 would have given you that extra layer. If you are one of the kids that did 6 layers, that's fine. It's the same process. You're just adding another layer. And that would just mean that you wouldn't skip. Okay, so if you've got 6 layers, then don't skip. If you don't have 6 layers, then you're going to skip just like I am. So I'm skipping this one, this one, and this one, and I'm going to glue it onto this one. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue, put it on this section here. Okay, and then I'm going to line my paper up with that section. Boom. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to skip, let me move this out of the way. I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put my glue right here, and then I will glue the other side of that paper onto there. So this is my section I'm putting glue on. Okay. And so now I'm going to fold this up until it meets and press it down onto the paper. Okay. All right. So now it's starting to come together. So now you can start to see like that depth. So, and see, depending on which way you're looking at, from what angle you're looking at it, you might see some of that area that's not quite as dark. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, so now I'm going to go to the next darkest layer. Okay, and that one's going to go right here. So I'm only going to skip one spot, and it's going to go right there. Okay, so you're going to skip this, and put it right there. So it's on that next flat surface. Okay, so again, take my glue stick and I'm going to go right here. Okay, and now I'm going to take my paper and the short side against the folds. Okay, I'm just pressing it there so that it's nice and sealed on there. Okay, and my next one, I'm skipping one and putting my glue right here. If you think of it kind of like steps, this is the part of the step that you'd step on. So, and then this is the part that's upright, and then this is the part you step on, upright, step on. Okay, so that's, you're putting it on, if this was a thing of steps, you're putting it on the part that you would step on so that it's flat. Okay, so again, starting to come together, you're seeing more of the layers. Okay, and imagine that we're going to have different sea animals on each layer, and as they get down towards the bottom, they get smaller. So you'll draw them smaller. Okay, so I'm just going to put this up just a little bit higher so that you'll be able to see it better once we get up higher. All right, so now I'm going to go to the next layer. So this is the next darkest one. And again, I'm going to skip this and I'm going to put it on that part of the paper. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to take this, line it up with the fold. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to skip that one and put my glue on this one. And then just bring this up to there. And press it down. Okay. So now that is another layer. So as you can see, it's getting taller and, you know, the value scale is becoming more apparent. All right, so then my top layer, we're going to skip there and we're going to go right here. So that's going to leave these two spots on either side, and that's okay because that's what we're going to eventually, like as you can see, it's kind of floppy. So because of this being so floppy, we're going to have to anchor it down so that it'll stand upright. So the way I found that works is by using either a cardboard or some kind of strong mat board underneath, and then basically taking string and anchoring it so that it stays upright. So we played around with that this afternoon and figured that that works. So I skipped that one spot here, and now I'm putting my glue on the last area that we're going to use. Okay. Okay, so let me get this up to the edge. Okay, so it's up to the edge. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to put it on this spot. Okay, and just slide this up to there. All right. Okay, so that is all of our layers. Okay. Let me see if I can get this even taller for you. There we go. So as you can see, there's the layers. Because of it holding at an angle right now, that's why you're seeing the black underneath. once we get this kind of pulled out, you won't really see that black underneath. You'll just see these layers like that. I'm going to show you the next step, which is you have to choose your little sea animal or sea creature that you're going to, you know, create to put on the different layers. So I'm going to pause it for a minute because I don't really want to do a new video for this part. I'm just going to pause it, draw up some sea creatures, which is going to, for me, it's going to be koi fish, and then I will show you how to put them on. All right.